Good day, everyone. Today we'll talk about Chapter 1. It will talk about data, information, and knowledge. So, at the end of this lesson, you'll be learning about these 6 concepts. We talk about data, explicit knowledge, information, knowledge, raw data, and tacit knowledge. Let's look at the first of our terms. Let's look at data. So, we define data as a collection of text, numbers, and symbols with no meaning. Again, the key word here is they have no meaning. Next, let's look at information. So we define information as the result of processing data, usually by a computer. The question now is, when does data become information? Okay, here is an example, a picture which gives us a brief example of when data becomes information. So basically, data, when processed, becomes information. Moving forward, let's look at an example of data. So here are 3 examples. The first one are numbers 3, 9, 3, 6, 9, and 12. The second one is cat, dog, gerbil, rabbit, cockatoo. And the third one are numbers 161.2, 175.3, 166.4, 164.7, 169.3. So if you look at these numbers, these letters, and these words, they don't have any meaning at all. So to transform this data into useful information, what we need to do is we have to add more words to it. For example, the numbers 3, 6, 9, and 12 are the first 4 answers in the 3 times table. So by looking at it, 3, 6, 9, and 12 now becomes meaningful to us, which makes it more of information now from previously data. Cats or cat, dog, gerbil, rabbit, cockatoo is a list of household pets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 pets or 5 animals are actually a list of household pets, or these are animals which can be good household pets. Thirdly, we have the numbers 161.2. These are the heights of 15-year-old students. Suddenly, these numbers become more meaningful to us as it tells us of the heights of students. So, from the previous example, this data, we process this usually by a computer, and this becomes now information. Now, the next term talks about knowledge. What about knowledge? So we define knowledge as acquiring and remembering a set of facts and the use of information to solve problems. Now, moving forward from our previous example, we have 3, 6, 9, and 12 are the first 4 answers in the 3 times table. Remember, these are examples of information now, and we will transform information into knowledge by looking at some examples here. So 4, 8, 12, and 16 are the first 4 answers in the 4 times table, because previously, from the knowledge, from the information that was given to us, we relate that, and instead we give our own examples. So once we apply our own experience to knowledge, to information, this becomes knowledge. So here, 4, 8, 12, and 16, as we move from the 3 times table, if we go to the 4 times table, these are the first 4 answers in the 4 times table. Secondly, a lion is not a household pet, as it's not part of the list, which was given earlier. And lastly, the tallest student is 175.3. Again, we transform we transform information into knowledge. How do we do that again? When we go back, we define knowledge as acquiring and remembering a set of facts and the use of that information to solve problems. So by now, you have to understand the difference between data, information, and knowledge. Moving forward, we also have two types of knowledge. So it could either be explicit knowledge or tacit knowledge. So we define explicit knowledge as knowledge which can easily be transferred or can be passed on from one person to another. So usually these are in the form of certain media, like for example in books, textbooks, encyclopedias. Secondly, we also have tacit knowledge. So these are the kinds of knowledge which can be difficult to pass on to. Like for example, if you want to learn a foreign language, or if you want to bake a cake, or program a computer. So these needs time because it needs experience. It needs a level of commitment from the person before it can be transferred to him. So by now, I hope you have learned all of these concepts mentioned here in the video. That at the end, you need to go back to all of these 6 key terms because once we have our normal class in Zoom, I expect everyone to be able to participate in our discussion. So thank you again for your time and see you on our Zoom class. Have a good day.